Hi, my name is Sean Linden. I'm the writer and director of Hunter x Hunter, and you are listening to the Horror Squad podcast.
Hello, welcome back to the Horror Squad podcast, episode number 195. Tonight, we're talking about 2012's ParaNorman, which is our first animated feature we're going to cover on the show as our main attraction. I'm one of your co-hosts, Todd. We have Sam, Joe, and Steve. Girl and boys, how are you doing?
Spooky.
Spooky. Fantastic.
Yeah, fantastic.
Fantastic. Yes. You know, it's October now. Sam and I went downtown this weekend, very first October in Salem, and it was pretty crazy.
It's pretty busy.
To be expected. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's amazing. I was telling this to Sam, it's like amazing how the switch just like turns on. Like, it's just like no one. And then all of a sudden it's just like someone flicks on a light switch and then it's just like people everywhere. And it's pretty amazing. Like it's cool, like, but it's insanity at the same time, especially like as someone who's like goes down there, like we go down there pretty frequently, just about every weekend. And like, it's a bit jarring because like you can't get in. Like we had to actually like wait to go to breakfast the other day. And so, you know, it's a bit of an annoyance, I guess, but like I love it at the same time because I just love like the people watching, and I love just like the atmosphere that October brings. So I don't know, Sam, what do you think?
No opinion.
No opinion. Okay.
Can you get out of your apartment, or is it struggle to get out of there too?
On the weekends, you're better off not driving whatsoever, or else you're not gonna get very far, you know. So we walk everywhere.
I don't know about you guys. I'm finished Halloween decorating, but I gotta say my spirit was terrible this year.
No.
I didn't think I waited it's like 30 days till Halloween or whatever.
Oh,
so
your actual spirit location. I meant
spirit,
I thought you meant Halloween spirit.
No, it's still going strong. No, the Spirit Halloween store was like terrible. It was like basically the day after sales, stock wise, like no animatronics. They're all missing or sold. All like cheap costumes from last year marked down, stuff like that. So I was severely disappointed with my store this year. It's a bummer.
That is a bummer. We've only been to one spirit so far. Actually, no, maybe two. I can't remember. But yeah, I mean, they haven't had like a lot of the stuff I've been looking for. So I'm right there with you on it. But I don't know. Like I heard they were having some issues this year with shipping and stuff like that. So maybe
the COVID excuse.
Yeah, I mean, maybe stuff will start like, you know, trickling in the closer it gets to Halloween. I don't know. We'll see.
People like Steve that keep buying everything.
See, you guys are just doing it wrong. The trick is you go in early, you befriend everyone who works there, then they text you and you get first shot at everything. One thing I heard online is that a lot of the spirits, including mine, for example, only got one shorty animatronic and are not getting another one. And I got the one at my store because they all know me. They knew I wanted it. So that's the trick. So for you Halloween shoppers out there, go in the first few days, befriend all the managers and everything. Just, you know, talk about horror and stuff. They're usually pretty big horror fans, and you get everything you want. So I got everything I wanted this year.
Awesome. Very cool. Todd, where's the place we got those animatronics from like a couple years ago for like 75? Was it Party City?
No, I want to say it was Halloween City.
Halloween City.
But I haven't seen one.
I haven't either yet. But I've seen some pictures pop up of the Michael Myers animatronic that they have this year, and it's actually like legit. Like it looks really good, like compared to like spirits from like last year or 2 years ago that looked like dog shit. Yeah. The one they got this year actually looks solid. Like I was shocked. It up. So
that's been my favorite the last few years is that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks really, really good this year. For like an animatronic, you know, usually the animatronics don't look great, but I know that the shorty one, I really want. That one looks awesome. How tall is it, Steve? Like 4 feet, 5 feet?
It's like 5 feet tall.
Yeah, that's cool. I need it.
Yeah, he's super awesome. Actually, I showed him on stream because Todd and I did the very first Discord Horror Squad podcast book club review And yeah, it was a lot of fun. So thank you everyone who dropped by the stream. It was really good discussion between everyone, and
that was a great time. That
Yeah.
was a super great time. So if you're just joining us, we talked about Grady Hendrix, the Final Girl Support Group, a little love letter to slashers, and we gave everybody a month to read it, and we had a live stream. It was fun. So if you're interested in the next book, it's actually Steve's title that won, and we're gonna give everybody about a month again, and we'll probably do another live stream. But if you're interested, join our Discord or our Goodreads book reading group, Horror Squad Podcast Book Club.
That is exciting. Can you guys both give me a super just like mini review? Like, is the book worth reading? That one?
Steve moderated this one, so I don't. Yeah, he didn't read.
I didn't read it.
Oh, okay.
I think the consensus was more bad than good.
Okay.
I gave it a like 3 out of 5 on Goodreads, but I kind of dropped that a little bit, and I think averaging out between the 8 of us would have been probably like a 2.75 out of 5. It was a love letter to slasher movies, but it kind of like was lazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they already had the plot development from the movies they were taking from, so they didn't add any of his own to it. So I think that was like the main thing people complained about.
All right. What are some of the slashers they borrowed from? Like the iconic ones, like Friday the 13th?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, the Friday the 13th girl was named Adrienne after Adrienne King.
Yep.
Texas Chainsaw Girl was Marilyn Burns, and so on. They had Freddy Krueger, but in the book it's called Dream King. So
Okay.
they had like, there was like, I forget how many girls are in the group, maybe 6 or 7 or so, and it's all the big ones. And it set up like horror movies or like real life or whatever. So it's like a common occurrence, like these, people rampaging across like summer camps or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So the victims get together and have like a support group for themselves, and then someone starts killing them. So that's what the book's about.
All right. Well, based on the reviews, I will probably skip it.
Yeah, skip it.
But yeah, I'm gonna try. I think I'm gonna download the Chasing the Boogeyman. I think I'm gonna do the audiobook, and I'm gonna try to finish it.
Do it at work or something if it's safe enough to do it.
I think so. Do you know how long that one is? Is it a big book or?
It's not that thick. I have the physical copy, and it's not that big of a book. It's kind of similar to the one we reviewed on the show.
It's about 400 or so.
No, it's not bad. Yeah. All right. Cool. I think I can manage that.
Yeah. And speaking of the live stream, just a quick shout out. Happy birthday to Chuck, who was on the stream. So we opened up the room after, and he came on just to say hi. And it's his birthday. It's going to be past by the time the episode comes out, but it was on Tuesday. So happy birthday, Chuck, and everyone in the Discord, go wish him happy birthday. It's Captain Amazing 85.
Very cool.
Happy birthday, Chuck.
Happy birthday. Did you guys see the horror Vans collection? I picked I went to the store the other day and picked them up, and I gotta say I was like unsure. Like I was like, oh, they look really cool, but then once I saw them in person, I ended up like buying all the ones they had at my store, which they had the Shining high tops, which is like the iconic cover, like the yellow cover with that like ghostly face on it. And then they had Freddy Krueger high tops that just had like the classic sweater. And then I got the Friday the 13th slip-ons, which are really cool, which I didn't even know when I bought them, but they glow in the dark. So that's pretty cool too. But they have Exorcist ones and Pennywise ones that I have not seen yet, but I definitely think I might snag those as well.
I didn't see that, but I saw you starring in a soon to be a hit film last week.
That's right. Yeah. So I did. I went to the filming of this movie, which is called Dark Circles, starring our boy Damien Maffei, good friend of the show. Also starring Terry Kaiser. Well, not starring, but he is going to be in it. So he was in the scene with Damien for this. So I made the about 2.5 hour trek down to Connecticut for the filming. It was at a diner scene. It was pretty much an overnight scene. I had to be there around 9 p.m. So I got there a little early. Damien, like, so nice. When I walked in, he introduced me to everybody and stuff. I mean, the guy's like so genuine, such a genuinely nice guy. But yeah, so there wasn't like I wouldn't call it wasn't like a horror scene or anything like that, like no killing or death or anything like that. It was just like a very dialogue heavy scene between him and Terry Kaiser. And Terry Kaiser's playing he's playing a professor on like an expert on that is like an expert on cults, because apparently this is going to be a culty type movie. But yeah, so it was cool. I was background for the scene. And yeah, I mean, so like it was cool because like I got to like kind of hang out for the first couple hours because they did a lot of they had like a couple of different scenes, because apparently like this diner is going to be Damien, who's playing the main character, who's going to be Martin. It's like his diner, you know, like the place he always frequents. So they did like a few scenes of like him like picking up like takeout and like stuff like that before like the main scene, and then like a scene like with him like outside in his car and stuff like that. So it was cool to like be able to watch some of the like pre stuff before that I had to dive right into being like the background extra that I was. So I was you know, so like I contributed to the Indiegogo. So I, you know, as part of the reward, like I was the main background actor for this scene. So I sat directly behind Damien when him and Terry were talking. And they put like another guy with me as like an extra who sat like opposite me. And this like dialogue scene, like it was like a good like 7 to 8 minutes long. So I had to have like a pretend conversation with this complete stranger for like 8 minutes, but like not like an actual conversation, just like a mouthing conversation for like 8 minutes.
Watermelon,
And
watermelon.
it was like so fucking awkward. I mean, they like told us, they're like, oh yeah, just like say like peas and carrots like over and over again. But like I was having like an actual like conversation with myself. I was like, oh yeah, I just drove like 200 miles. So I was like mouthing it and stuff like that to like get here and stuff like that. And then like I would like pretend to laugh and stuff like that. And it was just like really fucking awkward. But you know, it was cool. It was like a cool experience. I had never done something like that before. I had been like an extra in Ted, if you guys have ever seen Ted with Mark Wahlberg, but that was like a concert scene and I was just like in like a crowd, like a big crowd or anything. So it wasn't like, didn't really require much work or anything, but this was actually like me having to like pretend, and I had to do it like over and over again because they did it like 5 or 6 different takes on it. But yeah, I mean, it was cool, and I can't wait to see the finished product when it comes out. But I mean, assuming it's going to come out sometime next year. I know they film wrapping on October 8th, I believe. So they have a few more days left of filming, and then all the editing and all that good stuff. So yeah, it was cool to meet Hannah Fearman too, who is the director. Of course, you guys would know her best for VHS. Of course, she played the girl, the what do you call her? Vampire Batgirl, I guess, would you call her, from the first VHS segment? Yeah. And she was also in the newest Creep Show episode, which Sam and I actually watched the first 2 episodes of Creep Show, which I'm sure we'll be talking about on What Watch later too. So we'll give a little review on those as well.
I did an Indiegogo for her, or for Damien on location movie, and I think I got her like her phone used in
Oh, really?
in that movie.
Cool,
Yeah, it was like a prop thing.
Has that come? I don't think that's come out yet.
I don't think so. I've been looking for it. And I haven't seen it anywhere.
Yeah, he's got that coming out, and he's got Time's Up coming out too, which is like a slasher movie. So, and then he's got this one. So we'll see. He's very excited about this one. He said it's his favorite script he's ever
Cool.
read for a
Is
movie,
he the Peeping Tom?
He is. Yep.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Yep, he plays Martin, the Peeping Tom, who he
Send him over
basically
to Sam's.
yeah, he gets like arrested for it, and then he gets out of jail, and then it's like his like him trying to like rehabilitate himself, but there's like sinister things lurking behind. That's all like the plot synopsis says. So we'll see. It was cool though, because like
oh, sorry, go.
No, I was like, when I was sitting in the diner, they were like cutting out cult symbols, and they were like putting them in like special places, like around the diner, I guess, as like little Easter eggs and stuff. So I was like, oh, this is interesting. So yeah, we'll see how it all comes together.
You got these Freddy high tops?
I did.
Those are cool, man.
They're really cool. Like I honestly was very unsure about them. I was like, I don't know if I can pull these off. But then once I actually saw them in person, like, and I wore them, I was like, oh yeah, I can totally rock these. Like, especially with jeans on, like they're not as like loud, you know?
Yeah.
So they're pretty cool. But yeah, no, Terry Kaiser was awesome too. He came right up to us, and he's like, thank you so much guys for like being here and for helping us out and stuff like that. And the guy who was with me was like, anything for you, Bernie. And he started laughing.
That's awesome, man. That's really
Yeah.
cool. I can't wait to see
No,
it.
it's cool. Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to see what it looks like, and hopefully you'll be able to see me in the background there having a little conversation. I wasn't able to use my hands much because I had my tattoos, and apparently they didn't like. They were like, we can't see any tattoos. I don't know why, but maybe like the cult members have tattoos or something, so it would like mess things up. But yeah.
Well,
So
they're
like
also IPs, right?
yeah, that too. Yeah, that is true. I didn't really think of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, because like they like they're like because like I was gonna pretend like I was eating or drinking coffee or something, but they're like no, just like have a conversation. I'm like okay.
Tattoos just keep getting you in trouble.
I guess so. Yeah.
And last thing I want to mention, I appeared on another podcast. So if you guys want to check it out, it's the Don't Be Crazy podcast. I've been on the podcast before, so I have talked about it in the past. This time we reviewed Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, Dream Warriors, which of course we talked about on their show a few months ago, and we had our little like double feature with number 3 and 4 and had Ken Sagos on the episode. So that was a really good time. Always love hanging out with those guys, and it's a really good discussion about that movie. And the thing about that podcast is they spend the entire podcast like on the movie, so we really took a deep dive as to the meaning of certain things, and it was really interesting and it went in really good ways. So check it out. It's available as of the day that this episode's going up. All right, you guys ready for some questions? You can ask us those questions on social media at the Horror Squad Podcast, or of course on our Discord, which is very active these days. A lot of people, as the spooky season is underway, just it like lights all of us up. We just have a ton of stuff to show, a ton of stuff to talk about. Just
come out of the fucking woodwork.
Yeah, it's
Crawling
awesome.
Out of the sewers.
Right.
Oh, I forgot to mention, I have a 5-foot witch prop outside, and she has a button that you can push for her to talk, and her eyes glow and shit. 5:15 in the morning. She's going off one after, like back to back, no breaks, fucking like toil, trouble, and her eyes are flashing. I have no idea what's going on for her, but I'm hoping the neighbors aren't pissed off because that thing's fucking loud. And I go out there and I pull it out of the ground and stuff, and I think it was just the rain that was like shorting it or something. Because of course, like it lifted up the back part of it and looked at the power box and it was off. But I'm assuming the water just got into the fucking electronics and shorted it or something. But yeah, 5:15 in the morning, wake up by the witch. That was cool.
Creepy.
All right, so the first question is from Samantha. She asks, hey squad, happy spooky season. If you had the ability to speak to the dead like Norman, who is one deceased person you'd like to have a conversation with, PS, when are you guys bringing back Joe's mom? Love that episode.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's a great episode. I don't know. We haven't really discussed it. It's just like I don't know what we would do with her if we brought her back, because like we already had the interview with her. So I don't know. I guess we could do like a Q&A. Maybe we get some like listener questions or something like that.
I don't know if she can see stuff through cameras.
I mean,
like
I don't
live
know.
view cameras.
I don't know
how it works.
Yeah, I don't know either. I bet she could, maybe. Never really. I don't know if she's ever like done it, like through like Zoom. She's not really like a person that goes on Zoom or like video chat too often. So I don't know. She might not even know.
Yeah, but I'm sure a lot of people have questions for her that
definitely
cover. There's even I remember after she left the call, all four of us were like, damn, we have all these other questions that we probably could ask. Or when I was editing, I'm like, oh, I should ask that. So I'm sure she'd be a welcome, return. And I was just saying to Joe before we recorded, ParaNorman was like the perfect movie to attach to that episode.
Right.
But, oh well, it's she could be on any episode and it'll be great.
Yeah, we'll have her on again because I know you guys definitely keep asking about it. So we'll make it happen.
Yeah. So as for the question, let's go with celebrities because or else it's just obviously going to be too sad of a conversation.
Right.
But what like deceased celebrity would you like to have a conversation with as a ghost?
I'm gonna say Vincent Price, just because, like, I don't know, like I've been really into him lately. I guess because like we did like the episodes on him where we covered House of Wax and House on Haunted Hill and stuff like that. And then like just today, I was telling Sam like I was watching a bunch of like videos like on YouTube about him and stuff like that, and he just like seemed like such an interesting guy. And then I actually just retweeted. If anyone follows our Horror Squad on Twitter, I just retweeted a great video with him and Christopher Lee where he surprises Christopher Lee at like a some like they were doing like a tribute to Christopher Lee, and like Vincent Price came out like and surprised him, and it was like a really great video. So yeah, I think he would be a great person. I'm sure he has like so many great stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't, off the top of my head, I'm not really sure. That's a great answer for Vincent Price. I'll go with the safest answer, Romero, because he's just a nice older man, and obviously I love his work, so that'd be cool to just sit and talk with him.
I'm gonna go with Michael Jackson.
All right.
I was thinking that, Sam, too. Like, no lie.
Interesting.
Yeah, talk to him, ask him some questions, get
Chipmune.
the tea.
Get the tea.
Yep.
Yeah, for me, it'd definitely be Vincent Price as well, though. I'm such a huge fan, and it's just he has such interesting stories to tell, and it's just he's always a cool interview, and love his movies, and I can't wait to do more of his movies because
Give me a Vincent Price impersonation.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
It's like easy in your head, but then when you try to do it,
right,
it's
no,
hard.
yeah,
I was gonna, definitely.
He's a very specific like.
You're afraid of ghosts.
I wouldn't even try because I would just butcher it.
Right? Yeah, I don't want to do Vincent dirty, you know. All right, so next series of questions comes from Mandy. She says, "Hey squad, what are some of your favorite animated horror films?"
Coraline for sure. Love Coraline. Coraline's great. I really like ParaNorman. This is the first time I watched it in a long time. All the Treehouse of Horrors from The Simpsons are always great.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna go with Coraline for mine.
Coraline's great. I love Frankenweenie, and then also I love Monster House. That
Monster
shit's
House is
scary.
good.
Mhm.
Yeah, Frankenweenie's sad.
It is
I get
sad, but
bummed
it's
out.
still good though.
I was telling Sam, so this was actually the first time I'd ever even seen ParaNorman, and I have never seen Frankenweenie. I've never seen Coraline. I've just never seen like any of these spooky animated movies. So I was telling Sam after we finished ParaNorman, I was like, it's like I'm gonna have to watch more of these animated horror movies. So I think we're gonna do maybe some before Halloween this year. So I'm excited. As far as like what I have seen, I mean, Nightmare Before Christmas immediately comes to mind. Obviously, I mean it's a classic. So.
Yeah. For me, yeah, I mean, all of those are all great. So that be all great choices. But the one series that I watch all the time because especially like if I'm trying to fall asleep because it's an easy, like fun watch, it's the Hotel Transylvania series. I just really have fun watching those movies, and I like all three of them. Have you guys heard of the story for Hotel Transylvania 4, the big mystery surrounding it?
Stupid.
So
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so it was supposed to come out October 1st in theaters only, but 2 months ago, Sony changed their mind and said, we're releasing it on Amazon Prime October 1st instead, so it'll be free for everyone. And that's the last we heard of it. We're October 4th now, the day we're recording, and no one knows where the fuck this movie is. Apparently, like, kids are super bummed out because they were looking forward to it, and Sony
they're rioting for it.
Yeah, Sony hasn't said one word as to where this movie is. They just didn't. I've never seen this ever on film where a movie just didn't release and with no word, just missed its release date and they're not talking about it. It's the weirdest fucking thing. So
it already sucks that Adam Sandler's not voicing Drac anymore. That's stupid.
Yeah, I'm wondering why. I don't know if that's part of the issue or what's going on, but yeah, everyone else is reprising a role, thankfully.
I think Kevin's out too, isn't he? Kevin James.
Was he in that?
Yeah, he voiced Frank.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I didn't see his.
But 1 through 3 are pretty good, though. I agree.
Yeah, they're just fun, easy watches. You know, it's nothing too crazy, and yeah, so that's what I would recommend as an animated film. Her next question: if they did an animated movie of your life, what animation style would you want it to be?
Mortal Kombat video game style.
Like realistic.
Yeah, realistic,
still,
but not.
Yeah, right.
I would say the style of ParaNorman. It's great.
Classic cartoon, like Disney, like Beauty and the Beast, like go back to the actual drawing, like type cartoons.
Nice. And yeah, Kevin is in those movies as Frankenstein.
Okay. Is he in the fourth one or is he?
Nope.
No? Okay. Weird.
Paul Blart.
But he's in Becky. I know you guys like Becky.
Oh,
yes.
yeah, Becky,
Oh,
right?
no. Fuck that movie.
Joe, you said you liked it.
No, I did not go back to our episode.
I will.
2 weeks in a row that Joe says that.
Go back to the tape.
Go back to the tape.
You
It wasn't
liked
like it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't. I think I gave
You're
it like
like,
a
oh,
6.
I like it because it's like Problem Child, but horror movie.
No, Home Alone, but a
Home
horror movie.
Alone, exactly. See, you remembered it yourself.
No, I gave it like a 6. I did like Becky. I mean, Becky was cool.
That's what I just said.
But the movie in general, I think I didn't love. I gave it like a 6. Go on. I think let's see what I gave it on
To tape.
Letterboxd.
I don't
the
think you had
tape.
Letterboxd at that point.
I may have reviewed it on Letterboxd. I'm not sure. I gotta start doing mini like writings like Todd does. I like that. I like reading Todd's little reviews.
Right.
Thanks, buddy. I gave it a half star, so I don't know what you would have given.
Oh, wow.
Oh, so half.
Damn,
All right, I
Todd.
gave it.
You
I
gave
gave
it
it 3. Yeah, I gave it 3
There you go,
stars.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh. That was last year. It seems like it was like 10 years ago.
Yeah, I know.
I know.
Yeah, so I would like a stop motion. I like a Nightmare Before Christmas style. If you're gonna do My Life, I think it'd be fun. I did stop motion in college, and it was like the most difficult fucking thing ever. Just you need the patience of a saint that could do a movie like that. It's crazy to move every piece, like every fucking frame, every shot. It's crazy. So huge respect to people who do films like that. Her last question: would you find it awkward to have ghosts around all the time?
Yeah, I'm free in the shower cleaning my butthole. I don't want the ghost watching. Stay away.
Or when you're watching your stories.
Well, that's Todd's special time. I'm cleaning my room.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it'd be super awkward at first, but I think eventually you just would get used to it.
Hey, what if you're doing the nasty and then like they come in the room and like, nah, man, you gotta no, not like that. Longer strokes. They're just bugging you.
I don't know. Sam's seen spirits. Have you ever seen it like during like a sexual encounter ever in your life?
Not that I'm aware of, but they don't care about stuff like that. Like even when you're like walking naked or taking a shower, they're not.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
That's when they're hiding.
Have you met men? Like,
have you been married to me? And
I mean, maybe demons will, but good
Maybe.
ghosts don't.
I just picture like a classic white sheet ghost and like the jerking off motion.
Oh.
Where my boy's at? Come on, you know what I'm
You
talking
just
about.
see like a boner popping out of that white sheet.
Where
Sam's
my
like, no,
boy's at?
that's not it.
That's not it.
They don't do that. That's all I'd do if I was a ghost.
Right, exactly. And I'm sure a lot of ghosts would be the same way. So yeah. All right. So next question is from Cody, Odd Job versus 007. How badly did everyone want everything in Norman's room?
Real bad.
Cool.
It's so cool.
Definitely cool. I wanted his toothbrush.
Yeah, the toothbrush was great.
It's
Do
like
you
the
remember what the toothbrush was, Joe?
Yeah, it was a zombie. It was like a zombie like hand or something like that.
That's like the third kid horror fan that we watched in like a year. We had Salem's Lot Kid was great.
Mm-hmm.
We had
Creep
Tommy
Show.
Jarvis
Creep
from
Show,
Friday
yeah.
4.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Creep Show episode
Show.
2. I don't think you watched. Did you watch that episode? I don't remember.
It was like the first or second episode of this
Of the
season.
second season, yeah.
Oh, I don't even know anymore.
No, I love this room.
Oh yeah, I did. The stepdad made fun of him.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did you guys have big horror representation in your rooms growing up? I didn't. It wasn't one of my kind of big things in my room. Like my room at that age would have been Mario Brothers, maybe Ghostbusters. I had a little bit of, and a lot of hockey because I was really into hockey back then. What about you guys?
How old is he in this movie?
I'd say 10.
10.
I had to guess.
No.
12 maybe?
Yeah, if he was in middle school or not, I don't remember. No, it probably would have been mostly Star Wars and like baseball stuff.
Mine was mostly, what did I like at that age? I don't know, some kind
John
of teen.
Stamos.
Gross.
No.
Devin Sawa, hello, from
Bob Saget.
Teen Bop magazine.
No, I there wasn't. I had a little bit. Like I definitely had a Chucky poster, Child's Play 2 poster, but other than that, it was mainly all like bands, like Korn posters, Limp Bizkit posters, stuff like that. And I was into I was really into like I don't remember if I was still into wrestling at that age or not, but I had a ton of wrestling stuff when I was a little younger. I think middle school might have been pushing it though.
Yeah, see, I was into wrestling. Like I was into wrestling, but more so older because the Attitude Era was when I was at like kind of late teen. So
Right.
yeah, I
They're
guess it
walking
depends.
around saying "suck it" all the time.
Suck it. Yeah, all the rock phrases. Like, oh yeah, it was a good time.
Jabroni.
Jabroni.
It was so cool. This is like totally off topic. Well, I mean, with wrestling, but I watched that Shawn Michaels thing documentary, and like the highlight of it was the WrestleMania, and I went to that WrestleMania when he fought Stone Cold, and it's like it was really cool to see because I had like no idea like all that drama that was going on. So it was really cool to see that.
Oh, trust me, I went to the Montreal Screwjob. It was the same thing. Like it was just
amazing.
a regular Survivor Series, and it ended up being one of the most like infamous nights in wrestling history.
Yep. Sam knows all about the Montreal Screwjob now. I told
you better watch it.
She watched that episode on it. Yeah.
Nice. All right, moving on here to Kayla. She says, yeah, I'm so excited you guys are reviewing a Norman. As I watch horror all year, a lot of my spooky season consists of animated movies and children Halloween films. Question, as we only have 7 episodes left till the big 200. Anything big or special you guys have planned for that episode? Also listening to an old episode, I need another episode with your mama, Joe.
Another mom request. Yeah, we'll do it. As far as
she's Horror Squad's mom officially.
Yeah, the official mom of the Horror Squad. As far as 200, I don't know. I don't think we've like talked about it yet. I mean, 100 we each picked a movie and did like 4 movies. So maybe we do something like that again, or I don't know. Maybe we could get my mom on for 200 since everyone's asking about it now. So I don't know. We'll have to do some brainstorming.
Yeah, I think we're focused on spooky season right now because there's a lot going on. I mean, there's the event that Joe's hosting and all that stuff, and we just had the merch and
we have like a four deep lineup too, don't we?
Yeah, we have all of October lined up, which is like we never do. Usually after the podcast, we're like, so what are we doing next week? Yeah, so it's weird and nice to have a schedule, I guess. But yeah, once we hit November and things slow down, we'll talk about 200 and do something different, if we can. Next question is from okay, I'm skipping a few questions because a lot of them are ParaNorman, and I want to talk about them after we review the film. Okay, this one's from Marla, Creature Feature. How bad do you want a witchy wiener, and what's your favorite wiener toppings?
Well,
I'll
first
take
of all,
a
it sounds
witchy
like
wiener.
STD.
No way.
It totally does.
I'll take a witchy wiener with mustard and onions and throw some jalapenos on there. And I'll take a bag of
chopped or whole jalapenos.
Sliced.
So whole pieces then.
Not a whole jalapeno. I want the jalapeno sliced. Not chopped, not diced, totter.
You know what? Fine. Okay. You know what? I'll meet myself.
And a bag of Doritos with the Diet Dr. Pepper, please.
I'll hit you.
Oh, no one else has thought about a witchy wiener that they want to put in their mouth?
That one's too easy. I'm going to go last because I'm a big hot dog guy. So go ahead.
You're hot dog pro, are you?
I'm a pro. I'm a griller. I got my own kit and everything.
They don't call him Hot Dog Todd for nothing, guys.
They don't. And I'm using that for now on.
You have to.
I'd get a witchy wiener with be a chili dog witchy wiener for sure. Throw some chili on there, some cheese, melt that cheese. I'd get some jalapenos on there
some
too.
Onions on that, Playboy.
No, I don't do
put
onions. I don't like onions. To ask Sam, they put onions on my burger today and I had a meltdown. So.
Did you turn into Karen?
Yep.
Little bitch boy. He literally let it like ruin his whole mood. I was like, you're not about to ruin my evening, little boy.
Can't pop him off? Like it's that bad?
No, well, they put mayonnaise on it too, and I fucking hate mayonnaise. So they put mayonnaise and onions and
all. Mayo and hamburgers freaking dope, dude.
No.
I don't know if Steve's shaking his head for or against mayonnaise on hamburgers.
Against.
Against? Both
against. You guys are my whole thing.
Mayo.
Steve's a plain guy.
Yeah, I eat all my shit plain.
Freak.
He doesn't like the sauces.
Then I get the taste of the meat.
You're like a 4-year-old, man. I want chicken nuggies, Mom.
With milk.
God, and your large milk. Yeah. You go to the movie theater. Do you have any do you want a Coke? No, can I have a milk?
Yeah, right. Can I have a popcorn and milk, please?
Do you like chocolate milk, Steve?
I do, yeah.
Did you ever drink strawberry milk?
Yeah,
Who
it's
made it? Like
disgusting.
Nesquik?
it's
Strawberry milk
disgusting.
was so good when I
Strawberry's
was
good.
younger.
Yeah, they don't really. I don't see it anymore.
It's like ice cream. Yeah, it's probably not.
It probably
Great.
wasn't strawberry at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just gasoline, I think.
Right. All right, Todd. So we know you're the big hot dog guy because not only do you eat hot dogs in real life, but even when you go into your second life on Roblox, you just hand out hot dogs. So.
I do that. Yeah. Kind of creepy.
Right. What do you think about it? Yeah.
Yeah, playing with a bunch of 9-year-olds and handing hot dogs out of people. I do it for my kids. But anyway, no, I love grilling. I got my own little grill master set, little suitcase thing. It's awesome. But hot dogs, man, I love them like every way possible. Like a plain grill with a toasted bun. You put some mayo on that bun. You put some ketchup, onion, relish, whatever. But if you want to go crazy, you want to get the California hot dog, aka the LA hot dog, which is bacon wrapped, 100% beef. So you grill that, and then you get the bun, toast it, mayo, chorizo, which is like a pork kind of thing. If you never had chorizo before, you put that on the bun as well. You go onion, strip of ketchup, diced or chopped, whatever you want to say, tomato, and you're good to go. That's an LA hot dog or Mexican hot dog, California hot dog, whatever you want to call it. Good hot dog.
I don't know about the ketchup.
Take ketchup off, girl.
I just feel like ketchup is too overpowering, you know?
Yeah, if you put a little light strip on it, though, it kind of like brings it together. But ketchup's
Okay.
optional. Just like the onions are optional, Joe. You can get them without onions if you want. You have to throw a fit.
Yep.
All right. Last series of questions here for now. They're from Chuck, the birthday boy, Captain Amazing 85.
Birthday boy, who's gonna sing?
Quite the
Steve?
no, definitely not.
Todd.
No.
I never turned down a chance to sing. All right, go ahead.
So the very intense question to start off his little questioning here: how would you get away with murder?
Oh, like the show.
Do not answer that question.
Right.
It's a great show, by the way. Yeah, I see what you're trying to do. So if I was watching a show of a person who was trying to get away with murder, not me, it's the show, the character, not owned by me,
Named
would
Samantha.
exactly would literally cut the person up in a dozen pieces.
It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work, but this character doesn't want to be caught, you know?
Still big pieces, though. 12.
12? No, like more than that.
Yeah, more than a dozen.
And then also not me. Oh, almost went to jail there. I think the character would probably perhaps feed it to maybe someone in their life, maybe their pets. Also sprinkle
Maybe
little
a black dog.
maybe.
Named Raven.
And just like sprinkle it just all sorts of little places, you know?
Oh.
Maybe like even take a poo on it.
Oh,
then you mash
shit.
it around and then you put it in like a doggy bag.
Gross.
Throw it in the dog trash.
Light it on fire on someone's doorstep.
I don't know why, but I just picture Sam like like Andy Dufresne, like taking the rocks out into the yard and she's like dumping like body parts.
Like a fingernail at a time.
I wish I knew what you were talking about.
Oh my God, you got to get her to watch the Shawshank.
Yeah, it's class.
How would I get away with it? I wouldn't get away with it. They catch me.
I would do just the classic Sopranos style and just take a boat out to the middle of the ocean and just, you know,
That never
wrap
works.
it in chains and dump it. I mean, in the middle of the ocean, like you take it out far enough, ain't no one gonna find it out that deep. And if
Yeah, but
it'd be fish food by then.
Could you stand up to interrogation? Because the cops could be like, "You're the last known person with him, Joe. Where is he?" And they'd be like sweating you. They'd be maybe
I don't know.
slapping you around a little bit.
I feel like I've listened to enough like true crime stuff to know that you don't speak to cops and you immediately get your lawyer involved. Like if you're guilty, you know, you don't talk to cops. Obviously, even if you're not guilty, you
If
probably
you're
shouldn't
not,
talk to
yeah,
cops.
'cause you can incriminate yourself.
Right.
Yeah, just don't do it, kids.
Yeah, don't do it at all. Moving on.
Yeah, it's
Chuck's
probably
trying
not
to
worth.
write
Yeah, I
down-
mean,
he has a
it's probably
notepad
not
at his
worth
house.
it. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to murder someone. Don't.
Right.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah. Then you got Dog the Bounty Hunter in your case. You just don't want that. You know.
I would love for him to catch him. That'd be so
Oh my God. Yeah.
so
Could
I don't
funny. I
think-
guess the wrong word, but
I'm not sure he will, but it would definitely be a 2021 thing. For us.
Yeah, I always think of Cartman when Cartman was Dog Bounty Hunter. I
Right.
always think of him.
Yeah, that's awesome. This next question. Pretty sure I've asked this before, but what are some other good gateway horror movies for kids?
Gremlins
Yes.
1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
Critters 1 and 2. And
Critters
I
is
don't
a bit
remember Critters.
aggressive.
What was I thinking?
Cujo.
Oh God, I don't know about that.
No, because it'll teach your kids not to pet random dogs without asking the owner's permission and how to treat a dog.
All right.
What about Beetlejuice?
Yeah, Beetlejuice is perfect. Yeah, definitely. I don't know. There's a little bit of risk.
Well, yeah, but
that
keeps the adults busy though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it go over a kid's head, I think.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Except, they do say fuck, like at least once.
In Beetlejuice?
Yeah, when he says "nice fucking model," and he grabs his dick. I think most kids could handle that. It is a good kids intro on. Lady in White was pretty good, and it deals with some serious issues. We covered it. That one's a pretty good intro to horror one. Hocus Pocus, of course, for this time of the year.
Jaws.
Mm-hmm.
It's tame, but it's still scary.
Mm-hmm.
Ghostbusters was the one that I was in love with as a kid, and I guess some kids think it's scary, but not me. I thought it was amazing. So that would be my intro to horror, I think. All right, next question. What's your go-to candy to distribute at Halloween? So we asked last week what we got is from people, but what would be the one bar you would give people if you're distributing?
I give everything out. A little bit of everything. Tootsie Rolls, Snickers, Kit Kats, Starburst. I don't go cheap though. I don't get the cheap Dum-Dums or anything like that.
Yeah. So Todd, how do you do
Todd.
it? Do you is it a handful? Is it in a baggie? Like, how do you?
I do handfuls, and then once I'm over it, I'm like, all right, no more fucking trick-or-treaters.
Yeah, right. The lucky winner. That's
yeah. No, I'll dump it in there. Last year, this kid came super late because in our neighborhood it's like a 2-hour window, and you're supposed to not trick-or-treat anymore. He came like 45 minutes after the closing. I gave him every fucking 2 giant bowls of candy. He was freaking out. It was pretty cool.
Nice. I just always give out the classic Reese cups. That was always Reese cups or Kit Kats, stuff like that. So
Joe makes Rice Krispie treats and hands them out. And then they get thrown away.
End up on my front lawn. Just the classics. And I did the same as Todd. I just told kids grab a handful out of the bowl.
I do anything chocolatey because kids seem to like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also put a little note in there that says "spay and neuter your pets." Thanks. No, I don't. Just joking.
Halloween happy YouTube link. Barcode or whatever they're called.
I was gonna say this year I'll hand out Horror Squad stickers for everyone.
I got this shirt, Mom.
Yep. Shout out to Silver Moon Comics, who is doing our signing. Actually, they're now giving out free Horror Squad stickers to everyone. So if you go shop there, you can get a free Horror Squad sticker.
Awesome. The way I do it is I have these little chocolate bars of Kit Kat, Arrow, Coffee Crisp, and Smarties, which are 3 Canadian brands and the Canadian version of Kit Kat. And I give handfuls of those to everyone. But if I like your costume or I like you're going to get a full bar. That's how, and plus the, so the way it works is that I have someone assigned to candy duty because I'm usually in the haunt doing something, and they're going to, do the regular candy. But if I notice your costume because I like it, or you're doing something cool, or you're a little cool kid, whatever, even if you have a shitty costume, I'll, in my costume, hand you a big piece of chocolate, good job, kid. That's awesome.
That's the chocolate I would intercept for being suspicious. I'd be like, no, that motherfucker, no.
I'm in bounds of my yard. It's not like I'm a rat. It's not like I'm going down the street dressed as Twisty and giving cut chocolate bars. Cool. Yeah. So that's how I do it.
Can you recall from maybe last year or a couple years ago, a kid you would have given a full-size candy bar to?
Oh yeah, for sure. I had 2 years ago, because last year it was canceled. I had a full carnival thing in my garage, and it was really particularly scary that year. And there's this God, he must have been 4 or 5, and he like slowly walks up to the barrier I have, so no one can actually get into the garage, and he looks around, and I thought he was going to start bawling or screaming or something. And he looks at me, and I was dressed as Pennywise at the time, and he says, "This is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life." And he just like started freaking out, and he wanted to see everything and touch everything. I'm like, yeah, this kid's getting some big candies. Yeah. So if you act, cool and everything, I'll definitely give you the big stuff. Final question before the questions we ask later in the episode. Sam, what's the food pairing for this film, and is it a hot dog?
Yes, it's a hot dog.
There you go. Thank you for asking the questions, everyone.
A witchy wiener.
We'll have more
witchy
questions at the end of the
wieners.
episode because they are ParaNorman specific questions. And now let's get some coffee with Deadly Grounds Coffee.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds Coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds Coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
What watched?
Yes.
Who's watching stuff? Joseph.
I am. All right. So, Sam, what would you like to talk about first? We all watch the same stuff, so.
I swear to God, if you guys started that show over again, American
We
Horror Story, we're
started
done.
American Horror Story, the new season, part 2, which is titled, what's it titled, Sam? Death Valley? No, it's
Yeah.
called? All right. It is titled Death Valley. So I have not even finished season 1, part 1 there of Red Tide, but I was like, whatever, let's just move on. And yeah, so this one is an alien story. It starts off in black and white, takes us to Roswell, New Mexico, and we follow the president at the time, which is escaping my mind. I think it's Roosevelt. Is it Roosevelt?
In the 50s?
I have
Yeah.
no idea.
Like Eisenhower?
It's not
might be-
Nixon.
It might be Eisenhower. No, it's definitely not Nixon. It might be Eisenhower. I can't remember. But anyway. So we're following the president. They discover the crash in Roswell. He goes and basically the aliens attack him and like all of his guards and stuff like that. That is the opening. Flash forward. We now go to present time in color now, and we follow a group of 20 somethings and like college kids who are decide to go on like this like getaway for like their summer break and stuff like that, and they end up in the desert and they get abducted by aliens. And I guess I'll just leave it at that because I really don't want to spoil it if you do plan on watching it. This episode was the eye-opener for me to realize I am never going to watch American Horror Story ever again. It was the worst thing they've probably ever done. Worse than any of the American Horror Stories, the worst first episode of any of the seasons. And it just made me realize, like, why am I still watching this garbage? Like, the writing is such fucking trash. And it's been trash for such a long time. And this was finally my wake-up call to never watch the show again. So you'll never hear me talk about American Horror Story again. Maybe you'll hear Sam.
Mark it, quote him.
Maybe you'll hear Sam talk about it again, but I am officially done with American Horror
my
Story after this
God.
episode.
Okay, guys. I thought that I was done, and I am done, but I'm just so numb right now in life that I kind of like the pain and the irritation that it causes me. It is literal dookie. It is like dookie in stanky draws from last Tuesday with like corn and beans, like literal shit. I'm just like, Bro, how are you going on with this? Like, like, I'm embarrassed for you, sir. Like, come on. The acting is so awful. So it was just like, I don't know. I was laughing the whole time. Like, it's like when you go to the dentist and you're on the laughing gas because you're like, wow, I really hate this, but this is fine. Like, it was kind of like that. I don't know. I told Joe I'm going to keep watching it just to like torture myself, but I don't know if I will. But it was awful. If you guys watched American Horror Stories, the main girl Rocky from the Murder House, of 4 fucking episodes they've talked about Murder House. She is one of the main characters, and she literally, like, she's a gorgeous person, but she cannot act worth anything. And Joe told me apparently it's Cindy Crawford's daughter, so good for you, girl, but I'm sorry, your acting is not great in this show. And I don't like to bash people, but it's awful. So I'll keep you updated on how it goes.
Oh, thank you.
I won't. I mean, let's just say the end of the first episode is they find out all 4 of them are pregnant.
You said you didn't want to spoil
The men
it. You don't
and the
get to
women.
spoil it because
Fucking Joe.
you're not on the ride, Joe. So you don't get to spoil it.
It keeps
so
sucking him in. Look at him.
ludicrous.
He keeps
It's
sucking him in.
ludicrous.
He's coming back.
No, it was so bad.
He'll
Like,
be Googling like, what was this week's episode about?
no,
He'll
I'll just keep listening to your recaps every week.
There
while
you go.
continue to
Yeah,
watch.
if there's any. I don't know how long I could talk about Dookie.
Poop show. All right, I finally watched Hunter x Hunter, which is currently on Hulu for the Americans. Devon Sawa starring, and it's about some people that are in the wilderness. They're like some survival people where they they catch animals and get their fur and sell the fur. So obviously, like, it's like living off the land. The daughter doesn't go to school, stuff like that. Devon Sawa was out hunting and he realizes there's a big ass wolf out here. So he's like, I'm gonna kill the wolf. Watch this. So he goes off and he takes off for a long time, and then we're stuck with the mom and daughter as they're trying to figure out, like, where's my husband? There's a body part that we found, and so on and so on. So you're trying to like think of like, okay, where's Devon Sawa's character at? Then we're introduced to some cops that are like, we can't help you because you're not on in the city. You're on federal land. If I report you, you're getting demoted or deported or whatever it is off the land. Not demoted. Yeah, did I like it? I did, but I think it was hyped up a little bit too much for me. From the 3 of you, I think loved it. Don't give me that look, woman. But I thought Devon Sawa was like really good. I thought he was underutilized. When his character has the fate that he has, I was kind of bummed because I'm like, where's Devon at? Because he was the best thing about this movie. Like, extremely well acted. So I'm with you guys on that one.
What about the last scene, Todd? That didn't like wrap it up for you?
No, it did, but it wasn't like
What do you
enough.
mean? It didn't come out of left field? Like, you weren't surprised? Like, oh, wow, I'm glad I sat through this movie losing Devon Sawa to see this ending.
If you guys don't want Hunter x Hunter spoiled, stop listening right now. So you're talking about the scene where she's skinning the killer?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, I love that scene, but I just wanted, like, it was kind of obvious what was happening. Like, oh, this guy's obviously a killer. Devon's dead. I don't know. It just didn't wrap up. Like, it wasn't like a tight package for me. And I'm convinced that that guy's a werewolf for a couple of reasons. One is like, there's a wolf outside, right? And they're hunting this wolf. 2, his injuries are consistent with a wolf trap on his leg. And then 3, he was like, your husband had to go get a wolf, huh? Is that what he told you? Why would he say that if he wasn't a fucking werewolf? Because he doesn't know he's hunting a wolf. And then how do you get attacked by a wolf and not know what's happening, you fucking lying sack of shit? He was caught in a bear trap. Devon came to save him. He killed Devon, and then he killed his family. That's what I'm going with, werewolf.
Okay, well, I knew that he killed Devon, but I didn't think of him as being a wolf.
I don't think he was a werewolf.
He was.
All right. Hey, it's an interesting thought. Well, if you want to listen to our interview with the director of Hunter x Hunter, it's there somewhere. I can't remember the episode number, but it's, go back and you'll find it.
Nick Stahl's a creepy little fucker, though.
He is, yeah. He was good in it.
Yeah. So I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 on Letterboxd. So I still enjoyed it.
Solid. Yeah. I think I gave it a 4. So, I'm not that far off.
Yeah, I was about that too. All right. My first one this week is from 2021, and I watched it over on Netflix at the recommendation of basically everyone. And that's Squid Game. It is a Korean TV series that is 9 episodes long, about hour-ish episodes. So it's about a guy who's he's a gambler. He's down on his luck. He owes a lot of money to people. He's a failure of a father to his daughter, and he's just running out of options. And he meets a guy on a subway that plays a game with him and says, if you win this game, I give you 100,000. I forget what the currency is there, like
A lot.
yeah, 100,000, whatever. And he's like, okay, I'll definitely take that. So he loses because he's a loser. And he's like, shit, I don't have money to pay you back. He's like, that's fine. If I slap you, we're even. And he slaps him. And then he's like, want to play again? And they keep doing it until he wins. He wins the 100,000. And then he gives him a card that's like basically a phone number on it. And he says, call me. So next day he calls them and it says, do you want to play a game to win a bunch of money? He says yes, and then he gets picked up, he gets gassed, and he wakes up with 456 people in an arena, and they're told that they can win, it's something like 50 billion of their currency if you survive 6 children's games, and you make it to the end, you win this 50 billion. So it's basically all these people that are going through these 6 children's games that are played in a very deadly way, and how they strategize to survive and everything. And it's a really interesting show. Has a lot of and it's really interesting in the way that people try to like go through these games. It's like part social game because you need to like create alliances, part, who do you trust, who don't you trust, the power of money, over friendship or loyalty and stuff like that. It's a fucking fantastic series. And I will admit, it started off a little slow and it went into directions that really surprised me. In fact, when we did our live stream, I was at episode 5 and I'm like, I'll be honest, guys, I'm not super loving the show. Like, it's okay, but I'm not super loving it. But goddamn, those last 4 episodes just like brought it into an amazing show, and one that I would highly, highly, highly recommend. It's a really fantastic show. It ties up the loose ends in a really cool way. And the characters, you start to feel for them and stuff. And yeah, definitely need to watch it. That's Squid Game over on Netflix.
I'm on episode 5 right now too, and I was feeling the same way today. I was like, I don't see what everyone's talking about. Tug of War was brutal though.
Yeah.
I was like, so I'm excited to finish it.
Yeah, that's exactly where I was. Like, I'm like, it's good, but it wasn't great. Like, because so many people are hyping the show up that I'm kind of like, I don't get the hype for it. Like, it's good and everything, but yeah, it ties up really well in the last few episodes. So definitely keep to the end.
Nice. I think Sam and I are going to check that out. We were talking about it, and I want to check out Midnight Mass too, because I hear a lot of people talking about that.
Yeah, that's my next one. Everyone talks about that one too, so I have to watch it.
I'm excited. All righty. So Sam and I watched Creepshow season 3, episode 1, 2-part. Of course, Creepshow has 2 episodes per. So the first part was called Mums, starring our boy Ethan Embry, who plays the dad in this one, and he is like kind of like an abusive dad living out in Kansas, of all places. Sam was very excited to hear that.
He's already home waiting for me.
Yep.
Minus abusive tendencies.
Yeah. So basically, it opens with Ethan, and he's got his wife and son. The mother attempts to leave with her son to basically get out, like, away from Ethan Embry and his abusive ways. Ethan Embry's character, of course, catches them and grabs the mother and is like, I'm going to show you or whatever, and he takes her away and ends up murdering her. And they bury her in a garden. And basically what happens is the garden ends up growing like crazy and the garden becomes deadly. And I'll leave it at that. This episode overall, I liked. I didn't think it was like anything amazing. I thought it was pretty predictable. Like, I pretty much knew where it was going to go the entire way. But, overall, I thought like decent. It was like an okay episode. Not one of the best Creepshow episodes, but better than a lot of the other ones I've seen, especially in season 2.
Did you watch that one, Sam?
Okay, so I did not watch season 2 of Creep Show. I just never caught back onto it. No reason or anything like that. But then this one, I don't know. I just did not. It's not as good as season 1. Like I'm not crazy about it, and I thought the acting was not great. Ethan was okay, which kind of surprised me because normally he does such a great job. So I'm just gonna blame it on the writing, but it was all right.
Yeah, he's great in The Devil's Candy, man.
Oh,
so
yeah.
good.
Rewatch that one.
So good.
Yep.
When we met him, we talked about that, The Devil's Candy, and we were like, we hope that
It's a
movie.
fucking gem.
Yeah, we're like, more people need to see that. He's like, give it a few years. He's like, I think it's gonna catch on. I think more people are gonna start discovering it, and it hasn't happened yet, but I hope more people do because it is totally worth your
It's a
time
good one.
if you've never seen it. Yeah, it was definitely. I think it was on most of our top 10s the year it came out. I don't even know if we were Horror Squad yet, but at least I know it was on me and Todd's list when it did come out. All right, so the second part of this episode is called Queen Bee, and this one is about a group of young teenagers who are obsessed with this famous pop star. And they find out, they get some inside intel as one of the girls' mothers works at a hospital that this pop star is about to give birth. So they steal the mother's security card and they go over to the hospital to see this pop star give birth. What we come to find out is this pop star is an alien and is giving birth to little alien children. This will probably go down as one of the worst segments I've ever watched on Creep Show. I fucking hated this episode, like with a passion. I will say the one big plus on it is the practical effects are pretty great, like in it. This one's directed by Greg Nicotero too. So the practical effects obviously probably come from him, and that's why they're so good. But that's the only good part. I mean, the writing, the acting, everything is really, really bad in this one. So this was a huge disappointment.
I also agree with that. The only thing that made it somewhat bearable were the practical effects, but I think that's all that they spent their money and time and energy on. The acting was awful, the story was obvious, and it was ridiculous. I don't know, like I feel like I can't put it into words, but the first season of Creep Show was like such I don't know. It was like on the level of Tales from the Crypt, like so good. And it still holds up to this day, Tales from the Crypt. But this season of Creep Show is almost like, it's like worse. And I don't mean Are You Afraid of the Dark is bad, but it's like underneath Are You Afraid of the Dark as like it's narrowed for like teens or something. It's so cheesy and unnecessary. So
yeah, and we'll save our thoughts on episode 2 until next week, but all I'll say is that Creep Show deserves better than this. It really does.
That's a bummer. All right, my next one is a South African horror film. The alternate title is Ghetto Goblin, which caught my eye over on Tubi, and I'm like, what's this? And I learned it's South African, so I'm like, all right, let me knock off the Horror World Tour. The original title, which I'm going to butcher here, is Blood Takolashi, which is like a South African creature like Bigfoot, things like that. It will come and get you. Oh, what's Steve doing? Oh my God, he's doing the medicine man.
Yeah.
This movie is extremely low budget, and a lot of the issues are from inexperienced filmmakers, so you can't really fault them for that. It's like a very like depressed part of the world, I guess you can say, and it's really cool to see representation that is from like the Black South African community, because I've never seen that before in a horror movie, and it was really cool. I actually ended up really liking this movie even for its shortcomings because it's hilarious. A lot of it is not intentional. For example, like this demon, basically like this guy wants to be rich, right? So he goes to like this medicine man who says like, pray to this whatever the demon thing is and it'll grant you your wishes or whatever. The demon lives in a literal gourd full of blood, and it's just hilarious. Like he talks to him and the demon voice is funny. The medicine man, like I put in my review, like if you close your eyes you would think he was masturbating because he's just grunting. He's like, hey, what are you gonna do? And it's just like so funny. But the gore is surprisingly really good. Like they have some really good after effects, like of bodies torn up and a lot of blood. The comedy works too, like he's trying to hide bodies and stuff. So for like a low budget thing from a small part of the world, like I was really into it. So Ghetto Goblin on Tubi. Yeah, is it something like is it groundbreaking? No, but for that, like, not represented, whatever you want to say, part of the world is pretty cool. So Ghetto Goblin, Tubi.
Tubi.
I mirror what Todd said on that one. It's a very interesting film for sure, and there's some inadvertently funny moments, like you said, just like
the gourd. Why is he living in gourd of all things?
I don't know. It's and the medicine man made me laugh. He's just so over the top.
It's so funny.
Yeah. All right. So my last one this week is another 2021 film. This one was over. I wrote Shudder. Maybe it was Netflix. I think it's Shudder. I'm not 100% sure. And that's Superhost. So this one, it's a pair of vloggers who they review like hotel Airbnbs for their YouTube channel. And they go to this place that's infamously like amazing. Like people really love this particular Airbnb. So they rent it for the weekend, and it's in the middle of the woods, and it's just absolutely gorgeous place. And they set up their cameras and everything, and they start streaming on YouTube. And then they meet the Airbnb host, who is trying her best, like overly trying her best to make sure that, they're accommodated for and they're taken care of and everything like that. But she's accommodating them to a point where it starts to get creepy, and a bunch of stuff happens, and it just becomes creepier and creepier as their stay progresses. And she starts messing with their YouTube stuff. And anyway, it's a super interesting premise and everything. My wife absolutely loved it. She thought it was a great film. I thought the film was okay. Like, it had some interesting moments, but I will say that, we're almost we're in October now, and this might be my favorite performance of the year, or at least in the top 3 performances of the year with the host of this film. She is just fantastic, playing a really
Is it Barbara Crampton, Steve?
No, she just makes an appearance quickly. Okay. I've never seen this one before, but I would say it's worth a watch just for this, like just to see her performance as the host. It's so over the top and so crazy, and she does so much with just her face and her eyes. It's it's definitely cool and very unexpected when she comes on screen. I just wish there was more of her and less of the YouTubers that they portray in the film, because they're very unlikable to me anyway. They're kind of the typical, what you would think of people like that, where it's all about views and clicks and everything, and they really go to a point of how important, like it, especially the woman of the two, she's so into like, her YouTube channel that she puts like real life stuff aside just for views and clicks. Anyway, it's a whole thing. I do recommend it though, and that's Superhost on Shudder.
All righty, let's get them trivia questions out. Is everyone ready?
Yeah, I just got to pull them out here.
Scrambling.
I got to say, I was getting worried today because the day we recorded, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, Messenger went down, and my very first thought was, "Oh shit, how's Kayla gonna get her questions to me? Do I have to come up with my own questions?" Of Kayla,
can you email us?
It came through and actually sent me a DM on Discord with the question. So thank God, thank you, Kayla. You are the queen
Steve's
of trivia.
Sweating.
Oh yeah, I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to research some questions.
Well, I'm stockpiling Kayla's because I'm doing some Todd originals again tonight. So I have 6 questions from Kayla. So Kayla, thank you. When I think I'm gonna lose steam of creating my own again, and just fall back on Kayla. So thank you.
All right.
But the scores are: Steve and I are tied at 92 apiece. Joe at 88. Sam with 63. This is game number 38 of trivia. Like that dramatic pause.
Love it.
All right. Who would like to lead?
You go ahead, Mr. Originals.
Original Todd.
Right. Original Todder. Okay. Where does the film Hunter x Hunter take place?
Oh, it's in Canada.
Canada is correct. Damn it.
Yeah. Oh, actually, no. Yeah, so the director is from Canada and everything. So it's a very Canadian.
I would have accepted Canadian Wilderness as well.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah, fuck that.
All right, I'll go next then.
Do it.
So as I said, all from Kayla. Lost it. Okay. Which 1958 creature feature starred Steve McQueen in its first role?
The Blob.
Correct.
Yes.
Cars.
Cars. The Blob.
That's Lightning McQueen.
Right.
I was wondering when you guys
He was
would
close.
get
He was
on.
close. He was close. Cars. I like that.
Thank
All
you.
right, Joey or Sammy.
I'll go. What year is Jason X set in?
You've asked this one before, and we
Yeah.
got it all wrong last time too.
2150.
2225.
2160.
You're all wrong. I'll give you one more guess.
Are
And I
we
will
even
say-
close?
Is it in the
No.
realm?
You're all about a couple hundred years off.
All right, let's go 2560.
Okay.
2200.
Okay.
The year 23. What are we in? 21st century? 23 something. 20. You know what I mean? 23.
No. The correct answer is the year 2455.
2455. I'm gonna write that
I
one
was
down for when you ask it a
closest.
third time.
What was it?
I'm gonna ask it once a month until someone gets it right.
Right.
2455.
File that away in the Todd's tips section of my brain.
We'll never see that. We'll all be dead. Who knows if anyone will ever see it?
That's nice.
Yeah.
The way
Thanks.
global warming's going.
Right.
Aliens will come pick us off before that.
Well, that's why they're in spaceships. So, all
It's true.
right, Sam.
Alrighty.
Wait, that's the
Richard-
whole plot of Jason X, huh? They're not
Yeah.
on Earth.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, sorry, Sam. Go.
Because it's in the future that they're living in space.
They're in space.
Space.
thought they
have
were
like
just
a
like-
Earth. They have another Earth that they made, and that's where Jason goes after he.
Right.
It's like Star
Finishes it.
Trek. Alrighty. Tonight's trivia questions also come from Kayla. I
Hey,
was
Kayla.
worried, like Steve was, but she came through on Discord. So this has made me re-download Discord on my phone. So hi guys, but we'll see how long my phone
I thought
doesn't
you had like
screw
a
up.
Sam one, a Halloween Happy one. So
A Discord?
Yeah, I thought you did.
No, not yet.
Oh, spoiler.
Spoiler. Okay. In the 1985 film Cat's Eye, what creature attempts to steal the life out of a young Drew Barrymore?
The cat.
It has a name?
All right.
I mean,
we
I
got-
know what he looks like,
We
but
got cat on the board.
no, it's like I have the figure
That's
of
a
him.
good one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's-
I watched that like a year ago.
It's like a guy, isn't it? With the-
Yeah, it's like a weird.
It's like
She
a
said,
weird
"What's the
looking
name of
guy.
the creature, you bastards?"
I'm sure it has a name, but Rumpelstiltskin.
I'm gonna go like Bob.
But-
I know what he looks like, but like I don't remember.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe you guys didn't hear the question. What creature attempts to steal the life out of
That's
a
a
young
creature.
Drew Barrymore?
Cockroach.
A genie in a bottle, baby.
A demon.
Rubbed me the wrong way. Right way.
All right.
A
You guys
djinn.
are all wrong. No, it's a troll.
A troll. That's
Fucking
right.
trolls, man.
Yeah, I
Gotta
got the
watch
little,
out for them.
Yeah.
I got a little figure of him. He's pretty cool.
Fake
He's a
fan.
cool little guy.
Fake fan, Joe.
Well, I mean, I didn't know he was a troll.
You
I mean,
haven't
he's just
even
like a
seen the
weird
movie.
Creature looking
You
thing.
probably
Yeah, I
got it
did.
in a bandbox.
There's a lot of great episodes. There's
and a loot crate.
Well, it's an anthology. Cat's Eye's an anthology.
Yeah, it's anthology.
Loot
Yeah.
crate.
All right,
That
Potter.
one has the Dogs Can Lick 2, I believe, episode series 2, which is really
it?
cool. I think so.
All right. In the movie Seven, we just watched this. John Doe's apartment is full of his ramblings in various notebooks. According to Morgan Freeman, how long would it take the cops to read them?
Oh yeah, I remember the scene.
Search your feelings.
3 years.
3 years is on the board. You're a little high there, girls. Bring it down a notch.
300
another-
days.
300 days.
75 days.
70. Okay.
Did
75
you, say,
days.
did you say how many years it would take?
No, just how long would
Oh,
it take?
how long it would take? It would take
75 days on the board.
6 months.
6 months on the board.
I'll go 3 months.
3 months on the board. Everyone is incorrect. It's 2 months. Wow.
All right, back to me.
No, it's mine.
All right.
All right. What is the name of the underground city in Nightbreed?
Man, I have not seen Nightbreed since like high school, so I couldn't tell you.
I don't remember.
It's all on your tongue.
Nitritonia.
No.
No, it's on the tip of my fucking
Wiener.
Yes, I'm gonna be so mad when I don't get this one. Drawing a blank. I don't know.
All right, you give up? It's
No!
Midding. Too late.
Damn it, I was gonna grab the book. It's behind me.
Yeah, it's Midding.
Oh, Midian or something like that.
Midian, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I have the book. I haven't read it yet.
I gotta rewatch that. I wonder if it holds up.
I don't like it.
Yeah. All right.
Wait, one second. Yeah, go.
Quentin Tarantino named this movie as his favorite all-time slasher.
Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Okay.
Good guess. God, I just watched a movie that I think referenced this.
What movie is that? Yeah, I'm trying to think of what movie he talks about that.
He does. Yeah, I saw him in a documentary where he talks about it.
History of Horror?
Maybe, or In Search of Darkness.
With Eli Roth or something.
Yeah, it's one of those. Christ. I'm just gonna go like Halloween, but
All right. Sam, would you like to guess?
Last House on the Left.
Can I have a follow-up?
No. You're all wrong. Yes, I'll give you each one more guess if you'd like. It's a slasher film.
Black Christmas.
Black Christmas is incorrect.
Fuck.
let's go with.
It better not be something generic like Halloween.
Steve already said
so-
Halloween.
Oh, did he? My bad.
Yeah, I did. I'll go Friday the 13th. I really don't.
Friday the 13th. Incorrect. Sam, last
Darn.
guess.
It's probably like My Bloody Valentine.
Texas Chainsaw.
Incorrect. You should have listened to Todd. It was My Bloody Valentine.
Son of a
Damn it,
bitch.
Todd.
Yeah.
We just watched History of Horror. The
You like-
new season just started, and it was sequels that don't suck.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
That's with Eli Roth. Is he doing it?
yeah.
Yeah,
Ross
still
History
doing
of
it.
Horror. Yep.
Man,
And Psycho 2 is on there, Todd. They gave Psycho 2 a lot of
Psycho
love.
2 is fucking great, man.
Mhm.
I should have got two
There
of
was
those
one
fucking
on
questions.
there that I was very dumbfounded by, though.
Which one?
They gave a lot of love to the first Purge.
Really?
Did they?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Mhm.
Really watching.
All the other ones I was in like pretty total agreement with, except they showed 3 from Hell because Rob Zombie was on there. Obviously,
Yeah,
I'm
of
like,
course.
ugh. But all the other ones I was in.
That movie
They did like
sucks balls.
they did they did a whole thing on Dream Warriors.
Nice.
What other? Do you remember what else they covered, Sam, on that?
I don't. I think
Yeah.
you said pretty
Chucky
much
2?
everything.
They
yeah,
did
they did.
Bride of Chucky.
Dawn of the Dead?
Yeah.
Wow.
They did talk about Dawn of the Dead.
Okay.
Mhm.
Nice. They better.
Yeah, seriously.
I believe Sam is up.
Alrighty. Let me
I
get
got
back
those last
to.
two. Should have got him.
Let me get back to where I need to be.
I'm getting old.
Alrighty. What type of animal terrorizes Jennifer Connolly in Dario Argento's film Phenomena?
I
Cat.
believe that is. Oh, damn it. You stole my answer. Oh, maybe he's wrong.
Is he wrong?
Oh, sorry. What did you say? I thought he was still. I thought he was still debating.
I said a cat.
All right, we got cat on the board.
Oh, so maybe he's not. I guess I'll say a dog then. My answer first.
I'll
answer
go
is
a mouse.
cat.
What did Steve say?
A mouse or
Mouse.
rat. Yeah.
Oh
Mouse rat.
I would have said cat too. So it's
no, you
rat.
guys are all wrong. It's a chimpanzee with a straight razor.
Wow, I've never seen that movie before.
Me
I don't remember
neither.
that at all.
I mean, it's been a long time. I think I saw it a long time ago.
All right, my last one.
All right,
Um,
Todd.
In the Candyman remake, the one that just came out
Ooh.
3 or 4 episodes ago, name the 2 main characters.
Candyman.
Not Candyman.
Sam would know this, I feel like, better than any of us. She
Name
actually
the
gets-
2
I
main characters.
know.
I need their character name, not their actor name, but I remember their actor names being difficult to pronounce.
Yeah, it's
So,
yeah,
characters.
something was.
Something like
I
that.
think. Yeah.
oh my god.
Sad.
Dig deep.
Sherman.
And
Shervin.
No.
No, he's got a
He's not the
regular
man.
name.
That's the Candyman guy you're
Yeah,
thinking of.
yeah, he's got a regular name.
Mhm.
This is something.
Oh, Anthony.
Anthony's one. Yeah.
Okay, Anthony's one. Joe, can he finish it? Or
And
can
the
someone
girl, huh?
steal the girl's name?
Brianna.
Oh, okay, Sam, in with the steal.
I didn't
Should
think
they
you
both
guys
get a-
were
should they both
considering
get a
her
point,
main
Steve?
character.
With a
Yeah,
half
I
point.
mean the girl and the guy, right?
She gets the point.
Well,
All right.
Sam or both of them? Since
Sam.
Joe answered, Sam gets one. Okay.
Yeah.
Joe
I would
doesn't get a
consider her-
point.
Well, you could.
Okay. Well, all ones across the board.
Usually
I would,
there's a steal. So
All right,
I would
I'll
consider.
take the point.
I would consider her main character. I mean, she's like the only other character in that movie.
Right.
I wasn't sure what side you were asking from. You know,
What do you mean?
nothing.
I mean, I would argue the Candyman is really the star. So
Yeah, but that's Anthony. He's
well,
the Candyman.
there's different
Well,
Candyman.
there's the other can. Yeah, I would say.
I was
the-
thinking of the other one.
the-
And Anthony.
no, I would say Anthony's the star of the movie, though.
No,
Yeah.
he is, but I was
Yeah.
thinking of him and the Candyman are the two main characters, like the guy that
Yeah,
we grew up knowing.
It's my
agreed.
question. It's my question.
Last question here from Kayla. What is the name of the half-human, half-fly monstrosity in the remake of The Fly?
Brundlefly.
Brun-
Yeah, that's correct.
Damn it. Good. That was fast.
Yeah, baby.
It's a good one. That's such like a sweaty, gross movie.
That's a
is.
great one.
Ugh.
That's one we should maybe consider covering.
We
at
should.
some
No,
point.
hey, man, we have to because it's a Vincent Price. We could do a double.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Mhm.
We were talking about this in a
Gross.
Discord recently, where, or maybe it was during the live chat, where how much we love the old version because it's just a fly head on a scientist, essentially.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right. Last one for me is what is the only Nightmare on Elm Street film where Freddy's sweater is different?
First
with
one.
Solid red sleeves. That is correct.
Nice.
It's a great question.
Well, thanks to Kayla because she sent them.
Okay, either.
A lot of people don't know that. That's,
Yep.
I would have guessed New Nightmare.
Well, you'd be wrong, bitch.
Oh.
The price is wrong, bitch.
All righty. Ready? Last question.
Hit it.
Mhm.
You gotta be quick about it because I feel like all of you
Better
are
not be
gonna know
paranormal
this.
related.
ParaNorman.
She looked at it.
Tagline.
Norman. His last name's like something strange too, like Dukowski or something.
No.
Ooh, I didn't even know he had a last name.
Hit
Yes,
it.
you did, Joe. We talked about it. Okay. What is
right.
the name?
Blythe.
Buff-
Okay.
Witchy Wiener.
Jebediah.
Say it right, Steve. Jedi.
I know.
Jedediah.
I always die. I'm like, is it Jebediah? And I've been hearing it wrong. Okay. What is the name of Buffalo Bill's dog in Silence of the Lambs?
Sweetheart?
We got Sweetheart on the board.
What is it? God, I could like picture it. He calls her sweetheart, I think.
Precious?
Precious.
Precious. Fucking Joe
Yeah.
again.
Joe got it.
Damn it.
Dang it.
That's right. Oh, yeah. Coming
He's
back,
back,
He,
baby.
baby.
he does.
He's
He does
back.
call her sweetheart though a few times.
Oh,
Alright.
Todd gets a point too.
What?
Hell no. Hell no.
I'll take it. It's her question,
I tried.
guys.
I
It's
tried.
her
Todd.
question.
It's my question.
I won't give it.
Get out of here.
Is that the last one?
That's the
No, I
last
think
one.
so.
Unless
That was
you
it.
guys
Yeah.
want a bonus.
No
Boner.
bonus. We
Hit
gotta
me
get to the
with
movie.
boner.
All right, fine.
All
We
right.
have questions and everything too.
Steve pulls ahead, 94, myself, 93, Joe, 91, Sam, 64. Thank you for your questions, Caitlin. All right, ParaNorman. All right, this one came out in 2012. A misunderstood boy takes on ghosts, zombies, and grown-ups to save his town from a centuries-old curse. All right, so ParaNorman is about a young man who's kind of ridiculed because he sees ghosts and he doesn't hide it. So the entire town, his peers at school, his family, they kind of shit on him all the time. His mom and dad think he's playing games and like he needs to grow up, think he's making shit up. So he doesn't have a lot of friends, but he does have his grandmother who passed away, and she's a ghost in his house because she has unfinished business, which is to take care of him, Norman, since like she's like his big connector, family member, or whatever you want to say. So they have a crazy uncle that he's not allowed to talk to, and the uncle kind of stalks him, and he's like, hey, at one point he's like, Norman, like, you can see ghosts too. And there's a curse because they live in a town that is called Blythe. And it's kind of like Salem, where there's a bunch of witches and stuff like that. And apparently there's a curse of the witch where he has to read from a book every so often to stop the witch from coming back and destroying the town. He's like, you need to do it because I'm about to die and you're the only one to see ghosts and you can do that, blah, blah, blah. So we follow Norman around as he's talking to ghosts, trying to figure out how to lift the curse or stop the curse from happening, and running away from zombies that take over the town. All right, Steve, this has been your pick.
Yes, I tried to get it in last year. No one voted for it. This year, when we did the Discord, choices, Kayla said ParaNorman, and it was a close second to Pumpkinhead, so we decided to do it. Very excited because I love this movie. It's one I watch every single October, and I have since pretty much when I bought the Blu-ray in 2013 or 2014. I think it's just like a fun Halloween movie. It's about a kid who loves horror and loves Halloween, and he goes through this adventure in his Halloween town, and it's funny, it's charming, it's got a good message, it's got some really cool horror references that we'll get into, I guess, a little bit later. And I just always enjoy watching this, and I always look forward to watching it every single October. It's just, I'm happy we get to do it because A, I think people should definitely see it, and B, I finally get to talk about some of the things in the movie that I thought were really good. Now, it's not a perfect movie, but there are some issues, and I'll talk about those as well. But overall, it's an enjoyable watch.
I'll go next. So I had never seen this before. Very first time watching it. So I really had like no expectations, and I had no idea what to expect. Like, I didn't watch a trailer or anything like that. So I went in completely blind. And I mean, I had a lot of fun with this one. It's like a really fun, like Steve said, like a really fun, like cute, like Halloween, like kids movie. You can tell but there is some like pretty adult themes in here, like especially like, when we find out like the whole like meaning behind this curse and stuff like that. It gets pretty like deep, which I thought was great. Like, and it keeps like the adults interested as well. So I think this is like a good movie for adults and children alike. You can tell that the filmmakers like really had like a genuine love for horror, or else it seemed like it that they did, because like they put a lot of little Easter eggs in there and stuff like that only horror fans are going to pick up on, which I really appreciated. Obviously, I really appreciated it too because it's clearly set around like a Salem type thing, like so I really thought that was cool to see that. And yeah, like overall, very, very enjoyable movie.
I'll go next.
Take it.
So I actually saw ParaNorman in the theaters, and I fell in love with this movie so fast. Obviously because it's spooky, and Norman has such a love for like creepy, scary things, and he's kind of a loner who doesn't let a lot of people in just because of his ability to see and talk to dead people. I love it because it's like based off of some pretty cool towns, Salem including to be one of those. And it's just such a funny movie. I was literally laughing out loud. It's one that I like to watch every year. It's also really sad too. Like, I always bawl my eyes out every time I watch it. Like, I was holding my breath when I was watching it with Joe because I didn't want him to know how much it makes me cry. But it is so sad, but it has like a really good happy ending. And I don't know, just like Norman is just a little sweetheart. He has such a little good heart. Like, everyone needs a Norman in their life, And I'm interested to know what Steve means, that there were some things about it that could have been better or whatever he said.
Everyone needs a Norman and a Neil.
Oh, yeah.
I love Neil.
Neil is great. He's so encouraging. And I love the scene where like he wants to throw the stick and Norman's like, I don't know what to do. He's like, well, you just grab the stick and you throw it. And it's like, oh, it's just so cute and encouraging. And I don't know. It's just so great.
Yeah, and his brother's a good character too.
Yep.
Alvin. Yeah, I mirror everything everyone said. I liked it a lot. And it's got like a huge heart Pulls up the heartstrings, like with the dog scene you're talking about playing fetch. Super sad. Grandma staying around just to take care of Norman. Super sad. And then the whole thing with the witch, that's heartbreaking too. And it gets pretty dark there at the end for a kids movie. So I liked it. So Steve, you want to take over with what you didn't like?
First, I'll talk about just a few things I really did like more specific things. First, Neil. I fucking love the Neil character. He made me laugh almost every single time he was on screen. I especially love when he's playing with the dog and he's like kissing it and stuff. And Norman's like, that's not his face. Turns out he's kissing the dog's butt. And then also when he calls Norman and it's the Halloween theme and he looks outside and he's in a hockey mask, like with the sheet and everything. Just these little touches that I fucking super love about this. Or even when they go to his house and they're like, you better not be in there watching their Mom's Aerobics DVD, and it's like a pause that a girl's butt on the just these little touches that I really loved about that. So I thought that was great. I love Norman's relationship with his grandmother, how she's just like super chill and everything that he does with the ghosts, like how good of a relationship he has with all the ghosts and he knows them all, but also how crazy he looks to others because obviously there's no one there. Like for example, when he's he's petting the raccoon, but it's like he's like dead on the road and stuff. It's just it's just a really fun film. Love his room. We talked about that and before. I even love like Mitch, so that's Neil's brother.
Yeah, I misspoke. My bad. I called him Alvin the brother. He's a dickhead.
Right. Mitch is just like a good character as well. And I like what they ended up doing with that character where, he's being hit on the whole movie, but he's a homosexual and he just never reveals it. It's just like, they don't play it off like this big thing. It's just, he's gay and that's it. And I thought that was a nice message as well.
Yeah, I think I read that was the first openly gay character in an animated film.
Oh, was it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah,
it was really good delivery too. It was like everything about it was good.
No, yeah, exactly. It was just normal. Say, hey,
right.
my boyfriend will love you, because we'll do this, and it's like, oh, that's great. Where I think the movie falls a little bit is I find it takes a while to get to that like last act. So I find the beginning like really good and part of the middle, but there's like a little point there between like them trying to figure out how to stop the witch and the last scene with Norman and the little girl that it takes it feels like a long time to get there, and it's just like, okay, let's just get to it already. So I think that's a bit of a downer for me. What do you guys think of that?
I was just gonna really quick. I 100% agree with you. That was my only negative with the movie. Is I was gonna say I think that about 3/4 of the way through it kind of putters a little bit, but then it gets there, and when it does get there, it makes up for it.
Yeah, exactly. And that was, I guess, my big one negative. It's just because it does really take a dip there for a little while, but at least it sticks to landing. So overall,
yeah, I think so too, Steve, because like every time I start it, like my favorite scene is when they do like the shot around Norman when you can finally see like his point of view of his world. That's like my favorite thing. I get so giddy and then I'm like, oh, I forgot how much I love this movie and it's so fun from here on out. But then there is that part where it kind of slows down and it's still good, but it definitely does slow down and then it kind of picks back up. So
I love the zombie characters in this too. I just love the looks of all of them. They all have their own like unique looks to them, and I love them. I love that they made them into like the pilgrim type characters. It's just so cool, so fun.
Yeah, I love John Goodman's character as well. I find the scene where he's trying to get the book from his dead like body so hilarious when he's like licking him and stuff accidentally. And it's just like, yeah, that was a super funny scene. I kind of wish
toilet.
It was just super yeah.
So good.
Yeah, I kind of wish John Goodman was in it more because I love that guy, but it was still nice to see him in this film.
Every time he floats out, well, the first time when he floats out and you think he's dying and then he goes back in, he's like, oh, nope, not today. Then he does it again. I always hope that I'm like, please go back in your body, but he never does.
You guys got anything to add before I go to the questions?
Oh, it's a good movie. It's a great kid movie too.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's get to the questions just to spur a little conversation. First one's from Livy Goal 31. She asks, what's her favorite scene? Now, Sam, you kind of answered already. It's the spin, which is a great scene, a great reveal. for the whole world, and a good way to introduce us to the world, you know.
I agree. That's my favorite scene as well. When like you're talking when he's like walking down the street and he sees all like the ghosts and says hi to them and all. Yeah. That's probably my favorite scene as well.
I'll go with the fetch scene. It's really it's just a lovable scene. So
I also really like the scene of where we get to see Agatha and like her powers and stuff. Like I just love how they blend like the purples and the greens all together. Like it's such a tornado of like scariness and so much power. I just love that scene too.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, I love the scene as well where we get to see Norman for the first time, where he's waking up and you see the zombie toothbrush and him putting on the zombie slippers and in his zombie room and his little relationship with his grandma. I think it set what Norman was all about really early, you know, and within 5 minutes of the movie, I already cared about this character, you know, and that I thought was done really brilliantly. So that would probably be one of my favorite scenes.
Even the intro, like when he's that B horror movie, like he's watching, is really fun too.
Yeah, that was awesome. All right, next question is from Kaylee. She wants to know, just want to hear how many Salem places you and Sam recognize. Speaking to you, Joe.
I mean, there's not like any like particular like places, but like the town hall is definitely like modeled after. Yeah, that's definitely modeled after the old town hall, and like the witch statue is sort of, I guess, supposed to be like a play on the Bewitched statue downtown. And then like obviously that main street is supposed to be like Essex Street, but it's kind of like all very subtle. Like besides that, I guess the town hall, which definitely looks just like the town hall in Salem.
I was thinking that witch statue might be also, what's the one in front of the Salem Witch Museum?
Yeah,
Jonathan Corwin.
Jonathan Corwin, yeah.
That's what I was thinking. I don't really think it's supposed to be like the Bewitched statue. I don't know. And then for like Witch's Wiener, I feel like that's kind of like the place of Witch's Brew Cafe that's here in Salem. Yeah, I know that there were some other towns that they based it off of too,
like Sleepy Hollow, because it's called Bly Hollow, right? I believe is what it's called. So yeah, they definitely. I feel like it's like a mix of Sleepy Hollow and like Salem together.
Do your like schools or whatever also tie into the witches? Like, is that how ingrained witches are to Salem, or is that more for the movie?
No, the high school's mascot is the witches, the Salem witches.
It's just so weird to have a mascot based off murders,
right? Yeah, no, it's totally
and they kind of make that point in the movie, right? Like, you guys are completely commercializing a tragedy, and it's odd. You know?
Me and Sam talk about that like all the time. We're like, it's like in a way, it's very like odd, like how like they've completely capitalized on something that was so like tragic, you know. And it's like, why is it okay? Like, right? Like, it's like, I don't know. Like,
I can't think of any other situation.
They would never do it for like 9/11
for anything,
like, you know, like, right? Like,
can you think of any other situation where a town is based off like murders essentially and celebrated almost? Like, you don't go to fucking Nova Scotia to Titanic Town where people like ride on boats and like, you know, it's dressed up as icebergs. It's weird. It's
you know? I mean, maybe it's a little different, or it's not. Some people don't see it like, I don't know, maybe because it's also people tie it in with Halloween, and then they also tie it in with like, I mean, it is sad, of course, that those people died, but maybe it's like a thing of where, I don't want to say appreciation, but it is crazy. It's like people who are into witchery now, and like, if you believe in the universe and stuff like that, like there's things that I believe in that back then people would have killed me because they would have been like, wow, you're a witch. So maybe it's more of like, I don't know what I'm trying to say, not an appreciation, but
like a homage, like,
I don't know, because there are people that like capitalize on it, but I'm just saying maybe that's why the lines get a little blurred, because it's kind of spooky, kind of Halloweenish, stuff like that, if that makes sense.
It's like 50-50 too, because like a lot of the museums they do teach like the actual history of like what happened, you know, and not in like a cheesy way. But then, you know, obviously you have like other places that go after like the spooky witches stuff and whatnot. So yeah, I mean, it's like a very weird thing.
So do you have like one side that like yeah, they were evil witches and they did this, and this, and the other side's like, oh, they really wanted land, so they decided to say, they were witches. Like, is it that down the middle?
No, I mean, it's either like people that are actually trying to teach the history, and then the others that are playing off of the movie witch stuff, and like the Halloween witch stuff. So it's like kind of like that. But I mean, I guess because like it happened like like 400 or 500 years ago, maybe like people don't think about it as being as like offensive. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's like a super interesting conversation, and I don't know. One we could probably do a whole episode on of maybe not
guess-
a Horror Squad podcast episode, but
You can almost compare it to Gettysburg,
yeah,
like a giant ass battlefield where like thousands of dudes died, and that's
Right,
like
but-
the whole town's identity now is that battle.
right,
Do people go visit that place? I get.
It's
Is
a
it like
huge
their memorial
battlefield thing.
now? Okay.
right.
It's a
But
battlefield
people,
tour and a haunt, and they do haunted tours and things like that.
they do, but
Oh.
they do like ghost tours because it's
Yeah.
supposedly like one of the most haunted places in the world. But it's also not done like here, like like everyone just floods here in October because witches, Halloween. But it's like really, it's all these innocent women were murdered, like that, and like people don't really think about that. People just think of the fun like Halloween aspect of the town, which is what it's kind of melded into over the years, which I guess isn't like a bad thing in a way, but like it is an interesting thing.
So leave it to us to go into this big philosophical
Right.
chat during a kid's like Halloween movie.
Back to ParaNorman.
Right. Well, the other one's actually pretty deep as well. This one's from Weezerface. Did you want the whole town to get massacred by that poor little girl's ghost? Me too.
I mean, the town doesn't deserve to pay for the sins. Perhaps the people that killed her, the zombies that came back, and they have been paying for it for hundreds of years, right? They haven't been able to cross over, and
But it's like they didn't know though, so why wouldn't the town is just in the same place? Like they wouldn't know any better, so they would want her dead. You know what I mean?
like the townspeople. Well, they were
Like they
becoming
thought she was
those
actual
people,
witch,
right?
But I mean, like they were in the monster mentality for the zombies, just
Right.
because they weren't aware of what was going on. So it's like, what's the difference?
No, yeah, they were. I mean, they were doing the exact same thing that those people did, right? But they didn't deserve to die, like, right? Like,
But I mean, I feel like, not saying that they deserve to die, but like they weren't in the face of it until the zombies came, and then I
right?
feel like they already had that mentality. They just weren't presented with it. Like that was already in them naturally,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean that's in unfortunately, most of us mentality, like a mob mentality sets in, and everyone just kind of follows each other, like in those situations, which is like it's a great like kind of story to teach, like especially children. Like think for yourself, don't like follow these mobs, like which Norman doesn't do, and that's and he ends up saving the day.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think the town people should have been massacred for it. I think education is, where to go with this. They didn't do the murder, their ancestors did. And does that make, I mean, let me tell you about the world. A lot of people deserve to get massacred if that was the case, if
Right.
live by your
single
ancestors'
faction.
sins.
Right.
So I think education and moving forward is the important thing here. And that's kind of what the town eventually does. Once Norman kind of figures out the mystery, and clears the town can now move forward and learn from their mistakes and not make the same mistake again. So I think that's more of the important message of this movie, is that we can't change our past, but let's move forward by learning off each other and understanding each other better.
Are there still families from that era that live in Salem?
Yes, I believe there are some people that have like direct ties
Mhm.
to some of the witches that were, well, not witches, but some of the
Alleged
innocent women. The women that
Are they
were hung.
like quote unquote town celebrities, or they partake
No.
in the history stuff?
No,
or
it's
they're
pretty
just
quiet. No, they're pretty quiet about it. Yeah, I don't know any of them personally or anything like that, but I mean, I know there are people still living. I mean, there's only one actual building in Salem that still is standing, like from the witch trials, which is called the Witch House, that you can go and visit. It was the judges who persecuted the women, like his house, that you can go visit. Yeah. But and then there's like a memorial downtown. There's also another place in town that you can go and visit, is where they've figured out where the actual hangings took place. It's behind a Walgreens.
Oh boy.
So yeah, so you
That's
can
a
go
problem I
and
have with like
check it
historical
out.
stuff. Like I was looking at Greece and stuff, and I want to go to
Mhm.
Sparta where like Thermopylae was.
Yeah.
But then it's like I look at pictures now and there's a fucking Pizza Hut
Yeah.
next door. I'm like, gosh, this
Mhm.
sucks.
Yeah, it's like weird. Like when I went to Greece, it was like that. Like I went to the Acropolis, and it's like it's just like a major city, like, you know, that you like a normal city. Like I like compared it to like Boston. Like I'm just like, it's just like a normal looking city, but then you have like this massive like ancient building. It's so weird to see. I mean, it's still like amazing, but yeah, I get what you're saying, Todd.
Yeah, actually, my friend went to Egypt and he took pictures of the pyramid, and
Yeah.
it's like this perfect, like, you know, just the pyramids as you would expect them. And he's
Mhm.
like, I took a picture, like one like click to the right, and it's all like fucking, you know, stores and all that shit. Like,
Right.
yeah, it's just the way it is now, you know. Our last question, this is from Marla, creature feature. Who's your favorite ghost, and would you want the ability on the level that he has to talk with ghosts?
Ghost from this movie or ghost in general?
Let's do both. Why not? Weird.
The ghost that lives in my house because he's not mean or she's not mean. So
Mhm.
shout out to the ghost. Would I like the ability? No, it'd be too scary.
And who's your favorite ghost in this movie?
I like the greaser dude that was like, "Hey, Norman, you cut in school?" He was
Yeah.
cool.
I wouldn't want the ability to talk to them, just because like I feel like it would I think I'd just be scared more than anything. And my favorite ghost in the movie would probably I love I mean, do the pilgrim zombies count? Or those aren't really
Sure.
ghosts,
I
I
mean,
guess.
well, they become ghosts eventually. So
Yeah.
it
If
counts.
not, I'll go with the dog.
I'll go with Norman's grandma.
Yes.
And yes, I would want to talk to Ghost.
Have Joe's mom teach you.
Have you ever tried, Sam? Like, have you ever tried talking to the ones like you've seen?
I mean, like I'm on like I'm in the middle. Like I can see Ghost and like I feel like I can talk to them, but I don't get a lot back from them because I'm scared. And so I try to keep on the line of where I believe in it enough to where they don't have to like move things to prove that they're real to me. And then I try not to like dive into it to where that's like all I see because it does scare me.
So you
Mhm.
acknowledge it to the point where they don't try to make it a point to get you to
Yeah,
notice them?
like I'll like if I see something, I'm like, okay, I see you, but
Hey,
don't
buddy.
scare me. Like,
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Now, can they
I've
go
never.
wherever the fuck they want?
I believe so.
Mm.
And they're like tied to like a house or something.
I mean, it's just like how they were talking. I feel like how they were talking about it with ParaNorman, like, and even Patty has said it. Like, if they're tied to a place, it's just because either something bad happened, they recently lost their life, they are trying to do something else before they pass on. But I feel like they're always tied to that place where they have that purpose at. Like, I don't think they're just going to like Brazil and on vacation and all of this stuff. Like, I don't think it's like that for them. Like, they don't know places
When
or
you have the time,
locations.
can you watch a ghost story? I know Steve didn't like it, but I think you might because I
A
enjoyed
ghost.
it.
Is that the one where it's the
Casey Affleck is
A
a
ghost in a sheet.
Yeah,
will it make me sad?
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
Is it depressing?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, I'll try to watch it.
But I think you would enjoy where it goes, and I hope Steve watches it again, not on a fucking overnight flight. You mad?
Yeah. On my phone. Yeah. I'll give it another
Why,
shot.
Steve? Why?
All I know is she eats a pie for like 20 minutes.
She
That's all I
does.
heard.
It's a weird. Yeah, that's a weird choice.
Right.
Filmmaking-wise.
I've never asked Sam this, but like when we're walking around town, like in Salem, obviously, like it's supposedly like a really haunted place. Have you ever like seen like anybody like or anything like a ghost like when we're walking around like
How would you know though?
the town?
I don't really see like it's not like a clear picture of them. Like I don't see a clear picture. It's more like an energy. That's what I feel is
Okay.
energy. Like I don't see ghosts like Patty does. I feel like
Okay.
energy, like if it's good or if it's bad.
Well, you said you saw that little boy though.
Well, but that's like
When-
not very often though.
Not often. Okay.
Mm-mm.
All right.
That was because like I feel like that I saw that because it was at your mom's house where she
Mhm.
not
It's like
gives them
your
power, but
energies
she
were together, yeah.
acknowledges them. So I feel like they're stronger there, if that
Mhm.
makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Mhm.
Great. Now Joe's gonna leave for work and I'm gonna have to sleep with my lamp
Sorry.
on. No, it's fine.
Can we talk about the very ending, like where this curse all came from and stuff like that?
Yeah, I'll just add to the question and then
Yeah.
we'll go to that. So my favorite ghost in the movie is also the grandma. I thought she was
Mhm.
super sweet and
Yeah,
I loved
she
her
was.
character. And I love the little ending that they give her with the dad. I thought that was a nice scene.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
I know. I cried.
Mhm.
My favorite ghosts of all time, though, are the hitchhiking ghosts from the Haunted Mansion.
Of course.
I have a ton of merch from them, so I love them. And yes, I absolutely would want to just chat with ghosts all the time for a few reasons. Number one, it would prove afterlife to me, so I wouldn't have to fear death at all because I would know that it wouldn't be the end. Two, I wouldn't be sad when people die because I know I could still talk to them, so it really wouldn't change all that much. In fact, I'd probably see them more because they're ghosts now and they can just hang out anytime I want to. And three, it'd just be really helpful, like for trivia or just to have
I'd probably get tired of you watching Tubi all the damn time.
right,
Like fuck,
God.
really, Shark Exorcist?
Yeah, I just added two things today to my list that you guys are gonna roll your
Oh,
eyes
boy.
at. It's called Blood Fart Lake.
Oh,
Steve.
that's a Chris Seaver movie,
Oh, is it? Oh fuck no.
Filthy
Okay, maybe.
McNasty, which I know you gave a half star for.
Right, and Monstered. Anyway, yeah, so I think that would be really cool to speak to ghosts, and I would relish at the idea of it. Except it would suck for certain things, but mostly I think it'd be a good thing.
When's the Muppets Haunted Mansion coming out?
Like
I know.
next week.
Is it? All right.
And the
I'm
Undertaker
excited
thing
for
is
that.
tomorrow,
Oh, nice.
which I also want to watch. So I'm looking forward to that. All right, so let's talk about the end of the movie. What do you want to say, Joe, about the very end?
No, just like how, like what we come to find out, like where this, this whole curse came from was basically like essentially the Salem witch trials. Like this, we come to find out that this curse, who basically it was portrayed as like this, like really scary, like evil witch woman is cursing this town. What we come to find out is that it's really just this poor little young girl about the same age as Norman was accused of being a witch just because she was different, just like Norman is now. And these zombies who are basically running the town were the people that murdered this poor innocent young girl, and she basically put a curse on the town because they wronged her, and she's been cursing the town ever since. I mean, it's a very heartbreaking scene to see, and not something I was expecting, and pretty dark and sad for like a children's movie, but I thought it was good. I thought it was great. Like it was really impactful.
I agree. They went there and it was sad the whole time. You felt bad for her, you couldn't help it. But it wraps up nicely too, with everyone getting to move on and I guess right their wrongs, even though you can't really right a wrong killing a little girl like that. But yeah.
Yeah, the ending is really sad but happy. My chest and heart hurt so bad when Norman was against the tree talking to her and he was like, this looks like a nice place where you can go to sleep, and then she like passes away, and
Super sad, man.
so sad. Like,
So
and she was
fucking
talking about
sad.
like how her mom left her there to
Oh,
where the people
God.
could come and grab her, and I'm just like, oh, you poor thing.
Yeah,
Sad.
it was a great ending, good message, and just put a nice cap on otherwise a really great film. So
I like that they showed like the zombies, like how remorseful they were too. Like they even the zombies get their arc, like that, that they were like super remorseful and felt like terrible about it. Like, and when Norman can actually like talk to the zombies, that's a funny scene actually too. When like he's like Norman talks in normal, but then you hear like the zombies talking like on what the normal people hear, and it's just like them like moaning and like speaking gibberish. That was pretty funny. But no, I mean it wraps up really, really nicely, and yeah, great message, and yeah, really sweet.
And last thing before we rate it, can we talk about how weird the mom's head looks? Like the shape of it. I was just so thrown off by it. It was just...
They got the bellies too.
I
Yeah,
mean,
they got the
everybody's super goofy looking in
Yeah.
this.
I mean, I enjoyed it. It's like it got its own aesthetic.
Yeah, it does.
Like Coraline has a similar aesthetic too, like where they're
Amazing work by the
different
filmmakers,
Oh,
man.
for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
I wish
So
this movie
crazy.
got more love. Like,
Yeah.
I think this movie needs to be seen by more people. It kind of just
Yeah, and this guy's only directed, I think, 2 other movies.
Yeah, I looked him up and I said that to Sam. I was like, wow, he hasn't really done much else
Mm.
except the Missing Link, which was like a Bigfoot
Yeah.
Yeti
Yeah, I watched
type
that one,
movie he
yeah.
did. Yeah. Was that any good?
It's more kitty.
More kiddie.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
All right.
Rate it,
Rating it.
Rate
Mhm.
this motherfucker.
All righty.
It's your
I'll
movie,
s-
Steve. Oh, never mind, Joe.
I'll start us off. Yeah, so great first time watch, and it was a great first time watch. I really enjoyed it. I will definitely something I would watch around like every Halloween time. I think it's like a great like Halloween aesthetic type movie. So I'm gonna give it, like I said, there's just that one little negative where we talked about where I think it does, putter a little bit 3/4 of the way through, but picks back up. I'm giving it an 8.
I mirror that 100%. A solid fat 8 out of 10 or 4 out of 5 on Letterboxd. Really cute movie, lots of heart, love the art, and the characters. It's great.
I'm going to give this film a frightful 1-0. It literally has
perfect 10.
a perfect 10. It literally has everything you could ever want out of a fun Halloween spooky movie that will make you feel good, that'll make you laugh. It's pleasing to the eyeballs. It's fantastic.
And I'm close to you guys. I'm 8.5. I really enjoy it. Like I said, I mean, I watch it every single October. It's one of the ones I don't miss. Like every year I make a point to watch it. So highly regarded and super love it.
Yeah, and as a dad, my patience with animated films is that I'm at my fucking limit, but I can watch a movie like this, like, because it's good. It's a good movie.
Mhm.
Like Wreck-It Ralph is a good movie.
Right.
It's not just like a kid movie. So
Yeah.
Dug
This is where like doing the podcast is great because like I never would have watched this otherwise, probably, So like I'm glad that, the listeners gave us like a push to watch it, and yeah, I'm really happy we did. Mhm.
I'm glad Steve finally got to watch this one too.
On to the
Again.
next crusade.
Yeah. Which was
Onto
Warm
my-
Bodies
onto my-
and ParaNorman. No,
now we're onto
we're
my
never
cru-
watching that, Joe. Never.
Now we're on to my crusade, which
Right
is
now.
Jersey Shore Shark Attack. Thank
No.
you.
No, but we're going back into a new film next week. So we are going to do VHS 94, which is
Is part
coming out.
4?
Yeah, it is part 4. It was
I don't think I've seen
VHS
part
1,
3.
2 viral, and they're all on Shudder, I think.
Okay. I'll check
And this
them
one's
out.
is coming out on Shudder October 6th. So you guys will be able to watch it if you have that service.
Sweet.
Sam, want to take us out?
No.
All right. So thank you everyone for the
All right, guys, thanks for listening to another episode of the Horror Squad podcast. Don't forget to check us out on our social media. Share this podcast with your favorite person in your life. Don't forget our event that we are hosting at Silver Moon Comics here in Salem, October 16th, doing a signing with the fabulous Damien Maffei, and we are also doing a screening of Haunt. So check it out, and we'll see you next week.
Stay
Bye.
spooky.
Bye.
Look out, it's a ghost.
Ooh.
Ooh. Norman!
Can he feel if I pet him?
Yeah, I guess.
Bubby wubby boo.
That's not his chin.